Alright guys, this gets to be a little down and dirty and fun. Let's say we wanted to continue with our vars, okay? And what I want to do is I want to create a new section of vars. I want to add like a new sentence into this page. And just to give you an idea how that could work, here's what I might do. I might take the title, which currently doesn't have anything in it, and I want to create my own title. So I'm going to create something completely bizarrely different just to show you how it works, okay? So I'm going to start with... usually it would start with a HTML page. It's true. So let me just make this read the way I want. And I'm going to say the quick brown fox jumped over, the lazy, and I don't need that to be capitalized, the lazy dog. All right, there we go. Now I know that is not anywhere on our page, right? First of all, how many words am I introducing? I need a clue. Well, that's going to be static, so I don't need to make that a var. That is going to be a var. That's going to be a var. That's going to be static, because I can't think of any other words for it. I could put it on my var sheet and make it a var. It can be the only word on the var sheet. That's fine. This is a concept. I'm going to treat it together, because Google will. Jumped over is a phrase, and it's different than jumped on, jumped in, jumped around, or spring over, spring on, spring around, spring in. These things are completely different concepts. And so jumped over is very different for Google than jumped in or jumped through, okay? Or sprang over or leaped under. Okay, and that's just for phrasing that applies to you anyway. I mean, jumped over works, but you can't get jumped in to mean the same thing. You don't jump into the lazy dog. However, you could say sprang over, okay? And I'm just using this conceptually. Quick brown fox could be anything. It could be a Canon digital camera. Jumped over could be anything. It could be a megapixel rating or a zoom lens rating. Lazy dog could be anything. That could be an accessory that comes with our Canon digital camera, like perhaps a certain kind of a tripod, okay? So this is just conceptual. Don't let this fool you. Lazy dog. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create some vars. Now I need some room for that, right? So if I'm just going to do it like this, say, how many words is that? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put that together in one cell. So that would be 4. And then I'll just say like 5, maybe 6, 7. So I need like 7 or 8. So what I want to do is create 7 or 8 that are not in use. Well, in this case, it would be perfectly simple because I can start with var 1 and go through var 8. Okay. I could create different ones. I could have 11 and 12, and then because there's a 13, the next one will be 14. And then because there's a 15, it'll be 16, 17, and 18. I mean, it doesn't matter whether they show up in order. And by the way, these can be in any combination. They usually come out numerically from one end to the other because it's the way they got built. But if you had var 15 at the very end and var 28 comes before var 20, like if I were to cut that and just straight insert it here, I get it out of order, perfectly fine. As long as every one of these columns has a match, at least one match on the HTML page, right? There just has to be a match. And the HTML page, whenever it says var 28, it's going to choose one of the words from the var 28 column off of this sheet. So what can it not do? Okay, it will find the var 28 column wherever it is, whether it's here or at the end. It doesn't matter what the order is. Do not have a hole, right? Like I said before, and I'm just reiterating, do not have a hole. If it ever gives you a big fat error and it says, the whole string is out of, index or out of the array, then probably you have a hole in here somewhere. Either you have something like that or you have something like this. Okay, Control C, Control V, but you don't have anything here. Okay, that's a hole. Or maybe you don't have anything here. That's a hole too. None of those are allowable. Okay. All right. So get rid of your holes. Put the right var in here if you need, if there is one, such a thing, like var 27, if that's right. If you have a hole, figure out why and either add or subtract to get everything to match up, right? Okay, so I could just do it like this. This might be a simple way to do it. I'm just going to give myself some room. Insert. Okay, see how I did that? And then that way I can do this. I can say, well, this might be the thing. Okay, Control C. And I could just put it in like this. Okay. except that all came out in the same cell, so that wasn't very helpful. So you may just have to hand type it, all right? And let's do it even quick. All right, do it like this. I'll show you why. Brown. I know I'm not capitalizing. Jumped over inside the same cell. The lazy. Whoops. Dog. Don't put spaces. You don't need spaces after something. This with a space after it, that's just dumb. The spacing is controlled naturally on the sheets, right? It shouldn't have spacing in here. You're going to confuse yourself. Again, if it's just double white space, who cares really? But sometimes spacing can cause problems. You may have like a space at the beginning, and that can break the whole thing. Okay, so try to always watch out for that. Okay, now watch this trick. I could start here, and I could just say var1 since I know I'm good. If I click and I just go, it goes var1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See that? And that's cool. What if I wanted it to say var1 every time? Of course I don't, but I just want to make this clear because some people are going to get confused by this. They're going to say, well, I highlighted that. And see that? That's forming a pattern, and Excel reads your pattern. Okay, it's always var1. That's what you wanted. But if you just click 1 and you go, it will assume you want to go numerically. Okay? So far I have all this white space, but I can delete this now. Delete. Boom. See? Now, like I said, if I'm adding it in here, okay, I need to add it everywhere else, right? So this is kind of the pain down here, Control C, okay, in here, because now I've got to actually make these correct, okay? And this is, I'll just show you a quicker way to do it. Just take this, copy it a bunch of times, because it's how many times now? 1, and we went through 7. So it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way I can get rid of all this other weirdness. All I did was just create a bunch of those with spaces. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog or whatever it is, right? However I did that. Oh, the word the should happen at the beginning. I see. That's what I put. All right, except that's var1, var2. See, this is easier. var3, var4, okay, var5. In the old days, we actually had to build the entire page this way. There was no way to automatically transfer data over. We actually hand-built literally all of the vars throughout the page this way. That was a long time ago. We don't really do that anymore. Now you just do it for fun on little sentences you want to add or something maybe, you know, like we just did, okay? Now I've got that much caught up because I have it on both sides. I have it in the HTML file and I have it in my var sheet, no extra weird spacing, okay? And that works. That literally works. Now the last thing I need to make sure happens is that this exists. So like I said, whatever vars I put there, I got to have the same vars in my uniques file, and it has to have at least one entry each, okay? Just something to fill the gap. And I can put it anywhere. I can put it at the beginning. I could just scroll to the end and put it at the end. And I can click the little arrow here to just get it to keep going, okay? And I can paste it in. See that? As long as I don't have an artificial space like that, right? See, that's a no-no. But as long as that's happening, I'm good to go. I've covered all the bases. There's a matching var and only one in here and in here. That's what I needed. Now, if you ever think, well, I wonder about a var that's not in use, like right now, how do you tell real quick a var 357 is in use? You don't have to go scroll and find it because maybe it's out of order, maybe it's anywhere. But you can do a control find and just look for it, 357. See if it exists. Aha, there is a var 357 and there's only one. Good. Now, that would mean, what if I wanted to just see about a new var? Like what about 3,570? Find out. Oh, there is none. So you know what? That is free. And since that's free, probably everything else way beyond it is free too. So if I really wanted, I could have started with something like this. var 3000. Okay, just so you know. And it could go all the way to var 3006. But if I do that, that's what it has to be on the other two files, right? It just must match, okay? Let me flip it back. We get the idea, okay? Everything here makes sense, right? So far, so good? Now, why did I introduce it? Because I want to introduce variability. And first I told you don't worry about it being lowercase. Watch this. I'll highlight what I want. Go here, hit the source. It just gives me ideas. Okay, I don't need it. Okay, if I don't want it, I don't have to have it. By the way, you can drop all from one of the vars. If you just have a bunch of things and you want to drop all of them, drop all. And when it says from where, go one. You could use your shift key and highlight more than one. Okay, that's Quick Brown Fox. Submit. Okay, dropped everything. I got to remember to put back Quick Brown Fox, right? Whoops. Shoot, misspelled. Okay. Brown Fox. Now, the other thing I want to point out real quick, okay? Let me do it again, because I could clean things up from here, right? I can say, I want that, 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 but I don't want anything else. I could just shift select those and just drop. Not drop all, but just drop, okay? And then brown, chocolate, coffee, tan might be as far as I want to go. Maybe also I would leave in something else from down below. Just to show you you can do it, I'll leave in toast. I like toast. And then I'll get rid of the bottom ones. And you can overshoot. You can do this and hit drop, and that's fine. Okay. Now, Fox, there really shouldn't be anything here anyway, so I may as well just drop all, whoops, on var 3. Okay. And then just type in Fox again. Now, here's the point I want. Now, jumped over is not going to have any thesaurus entries, because how can there be a thesaurus entry for that phrase? So I could do something just really quick. I could go jumped thesaurus, and then I get the idea, and then I can do something else. I can insert, and I can put the word over, because I always want the word over. Watch this. If you hover over the little black square and drag it down. Now, I just created something kind of bizarre, didn't I? Let me put in some fake vars, var 3000, real quick, just to show you what I'm going to do. 3001, because they're not in use. It is just good habit, right? Watch this. I can combine two of them together with this articles function. This is used for things like a versus an, a table and elephant. So you need to get this to always go with that, this to always go with that. That would be like a table and elephant and igloo, you know, and eagle, a cup. And so you would want to concatenate those together to always be together. That way, MOWG can't randomly choose a or an and then randomly choose one of these, or you're going to get things like a elephant and table. We want cleanliness, right? So watch this. When we hit articles, I can use it like this for anything. See the little black arrow? Highlight any two and hit submit, and it just put it together. The only thing I got to do now is fix this at the top, because it also put the var headers together. I got to make a choice. Which one do I want? 3000 or 3001? Okay, I'll choose 3000. And I didn't want to put that on my sheet and my other sheet. What did I really want to do? I wanted to use this. You know, I really wanted this kind of Control C. I wanted that to go here, and I don't want this at all. Delete. Get it? So now I just created the variations I wanted, right? So now I got variations I want, variations I want. There are no variations. Variations I want. I could say the or a lazy dog, but then again, am I going to do that? Then I get the lazy, a indolent, a idle. No, I have to choose. Either I want the, clear the contents, the lazy, the indolent, the idle, the lethargic. That works every time. Or I have to go a and an. And if I want to go a and an, here's more practice. A lazy, an indolent, an idle, a lethargic, a languid, a sluggish, a slothful. Again, articles. Combine them. And then just clean up that header since it's off. And that would be my choice. I would get rid of var 6 in every single case, right? And there's only one case. So I can get rid of it. Okay? And that means... See how you're getting the practice? That means also make sure it's gone from here. So wherever I put the thing, and I put it at the end, that's got to go away. Delete. I can leave that saying var 5 and the. It can be wrong, because it doesn't matter what the values are here right now. They're temporary. This uniques file will update all these values as it goes. whenever it does each run. So it doesn't matter what the values are, it just matters that you have stuff in there. Now my regular var sheet, my vars.csv, where I am now, that's the one I care about. By the way, how many variations can there be from what we were just doing? And by the way, what do we like for dog? You know, an indolent dog, an idle dog, dog, canine, pooch, mongrel, mutt. And this list goes on and on. Hound, let's just say that was it. And then it uses different kinds of meanings from the thesaurus. That's why these lists are long, and that's why some things go. There is such a thing as to dog somebody. Quit, you know, you probably heard, quit dogging me. That means quit pestering me, quit vexing me, quit harassing me. So from the thesaurus, it uses the first section, then the next, then the next, then the next. It doesn't know which one you want. And so from there, you just got to choose what you want and then clear the rest. Let me go back and let me drop. Boom. All right. How many variations have we just created in that one sentence? The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. We have, you know, you could say there are 8 here, but there aren't. That's a header row. So there's 7. And then where this says 6, just always subtract 1. 7 times 5, literally. This is literally true. Times 5 times 1. Okay, times, and these are web pages, by the way. These are web pages that we can legitimately make. How many are here? 21 times, okay, 7 times, okay, 6, okay. Now, I'm not saying go make 30,870 pages, but I'm saying that we literally have that many combinations here. Now, Google's only going to want to see about 1% of that, 1% of those. So, you know, divide by 100, right? Equals. And that would be like 308 pages that Google would say yes to. But isn't that crazy? What if you went a little bit further and you said in Chicago, Illinois? You know, in, maybe you make the word in static on the page, you add it in. Ah, what the heck? Watch. This is weird, huh? The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog in... And then I need a var for that that's free. What's free? Oh, I can use var 8. Okay, otherwise I just jump ahead and use like var, who cares, var 11. I'll even do it, because again, it doesn't matter. As long as it's not in use on this page, I could do a check for it. Control F, var 11. Find all. Aha, what's it showing me? Oh, it's showing me var 11. That was my var 11, but it's var 113, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 6, and 7. Okay. There is no var 11. Okay. There's only var 113 and upwards. So I'm safe. I can use var 11. Insert var 11. And this could be Chicago. You know, I could even, I could go like Chicago or Atlanta, you know. But I could continue if I wanted. I could make it like Chicago, comma, IL for Illinois. Atlanta, comma, GA for Georgia. And I just doubled the whole thing, because even for Google, a quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog in Chicago, Illinois is a different thing than a rapid coffee fox or whatever, a rapid tan fox hurdled over a languid pooch in Atlanta, Georgia. See, they're different concepts. So that's like 600 web pages I can do now, for example. Okay, just off of a single sentence without even continuing the math across the rest of the page. Okay, so again, we're not trying to make massive websites. We're just trying to fill out the website properly. That's what we're aiming for, and that's what this whole conversation is leading to. All right, so again, I've got it here, and if I have it here, okay, var in var 11, right? Just got to make sure that, whoops. Okay, let me save it here and then just close. And don't save it when it prompts you to save again. I'll show you what I mean. Those of you who've never seen this before, I've done this a million times, right? A CSV file is kind of funny. When you close it, just remember this routine. We're all done. We made our changes. Save, yes. Close, no. Don't save. Because you just did, right? That's what you hit the blue floppy for, to save it. So then when you go to close it, no need to save it again. If you hit save again, it takes you through this long drawn out routine. Say I make some change, hounds, and then I change it back, and that's how I actually changed. Maybe I saved them. Okay, close. Do you want to save it? Yes. Yeah, I want it to be that. Yeah, I do want to replace it. Oh, they may have features that are not compatible. Do I want to keep? Yes. See, that's why we always say the quickest thing to remember is save, yes, close, don't. Just quicker. Uniques. I have to get var 11 in there, don't I? Var 11. A little further. Var 11. And like I said, anything can be in there. So I'll just type in hi. I mean, anything can be there. You can just type a key. DF, DFSG. It doesn't matter. D. It already works. Save. Yes. Close. None. All right. Those are caught up. And how can I prove it? MOWG Pro. I'm just going to prove it real quick and make sure it's working. So I showed you how to introduce vars, like for no particular reason. By the way, I can keep going with that. I want to make some points about that real fast. Anything I put up here, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. This is quick brown fox. I know it, var 1, var 2, var 3. I could say quick fox, that's just var 1 and var 3, somewhere else on the page, like for an image alt code. So watch this, Control H, find.jpg. There's one. And the alt, maybe I don't want the alt just to be acmeplumbers.com. Maybe I want it to be var 1 and var 3, quick fox. Well, I put in quick brown fox, but I want it to be quick fox. Or whatever those variables would be, right? I want it to be var 1, var 3. Now, if I want, I could say var 1, var 3 topics or features or benefits. You get where we're going with this? If that is like features or benefits or topics, then I'm giving cool names that use the keyword I want in context, right? For the image, okay? Google loves that stuff. That's called SEO, okay? Using alternate coding to represent the verbiage that the image is supposed to be. Since no one can read the image, at least we can read the words that apply to the image, okay? And again, I mean, usually I'd use plumbing terms for a plumbing image. I wouldn't use var 1 and var 3. I'd use plumbing terms. Well, I wouldn't use quick brown fox, but I'm showing you it can be done. You can, yes, you can do any combinations. You can say, lovely var 1, var 3 features. Now, how do you really make it rich? Think of all the combinations if lovely was a var. What if it was a var? What if it was like var 3000? Let me double click. Oh, just get that. That's all I want. Boom. And this was a new var I created on my var sheet. var 3000. And then just like it, I want features to also have lots of choices. And I want that to be var 3001. Yeah, I can do this. I can exactly do this as long as what? You know the answer. As long as I have them here and here. Okay? If I have them here and here, I'm cool with using them like that in here. I could do it real fast. And I can put it at the beginning. Insert var 3000. So see, you can use your head to create variability any way you want. Lovely. Features. And then just for the fun of it, what does the thesaurus give us? Because I could hand type stuff in. Well, that gives me plenty. That's like way more than I need. Lovely, beautiful, attractive, pretty, gorgeous, exquisite, charming, fetching, enchanting, nice and fine. I like that. Features, I'm getting the wrong one. Features, not topographies, landscapes, geographies, structures. I want to get past that section. But I could say source types, descriptions. I could do that much. So I'll drop that first bit. Qualities, kinds. Okay, eyes, nose, mouth, cheeks, chins. That's a different kind of features. I don't need those. But attributes sounds right. Drop. Attributes, qualities, facets, aspects. And by the way, it's okay if you have the same word a few times in here. You know why? Because it just gets more, or kind of more often. So if you wanted, let me just show you a concept real quick. If you wanted something to appear, let's say you wanted features, but you want one of these words to appear a lot more often, then just put it in a lot more often. Okay? It doesn't matter where. It could be anywhere in here because it's going to choose randomly, but you increase it choosing that by just weighing that more heavily in that column. See how cool that is? Yeah, if I went jumped over to happen a lot more often, I just kind of like put it in a lot more often. How's that? Get it? Isn't that wild? All right, there's more. But anyway, that's the part I wanted for right now. Okay. There is one more that I should tell you right now. What if you wanted to do two versions of a var? And by the way, I didn't put it in the other file yet either, but I can just do it like this. Control C. Open the other one. Actually, I kind of had to open it first probably, and I could just like insert. We'll see. Insert. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's good. I did it. Okay. Again, no spaces. I didn't leave any stray columns in here. Okay. There, that's done. The other thing that's cool, what if you really need a certain word to always match this, but maybe this column is way over here somewhere? Okay. There are times when that makes sense. Maybe you've got this. I'll show you an example. Maybe you've got, insert, Chicago, Illinois, Atlanta, Georgia. We were talking about this for the URL breakdown too. Let's say you also wanted like a var 12, which was Chicago and Atlanta. Okay. But it's not always going to be Chicago IL or Atlanta, Georgia. As a matter of fact, let's do one more. Now, this doesn't get to be var 13, but it can be var 14. So I'm just keeping them together so I can see them. This might be all the way out. And Atlanta, Georgia, right? And I don't have to use commas, right? I really don't. It's whether I use them or not is fully up to me. But this could be a huge list of cities, right? That could be a huge list, therefore. And that could be a huge list, therefore. Well, you can't just have MOWG randomly picking, or you're going to get mixes and matches all over the place. How do you deal with that? Here's the answer. When you want it to work a certain way, every time you hit the go button, it'll start at the top if you do this for that column. But watch this. I'm going to put brackets, just regular brackets. Don't put percentage signs. Just put a regular bracket around the things you need it to match. And that way, as MOWG runs, the first page it creates starts with the top entry. So when it does its thing, whenever it hits var 11, okay, assuming there's a var 11, 12, and 14, okay, whenever it hits it, then it will choose the top one first. And then for the next, and that's going to be the top one and the top one too, because they have brackets. And it does not matter where these things are at. I could cut and insert this anywhere. Paste, okay? They don't have to be in any particular place. All right, actually, I didn't want to paste that way, right? I wanted to insert cut cells. Okay, there. Now, this one could have been anywhere else. Let me again cut and just stick it like right at the beginning. Insert cut cells. Okay. There. And when you insert that way, you don't wind up with spaces behind you. So the first page it creates will use that. For var 14, it will use the first one. When it hits var 11, it will use that. When it hits var 12, it will use that. As many times as it shows up on the page. Very well, that page is done. Now when MOWG creates page number 2, it will put in entry number 2, entry number 2, and entry number 2. Everything else will be random. Okay? Well, whatever. There, here, there. It'll be random. Except it will not be random wherever you have brackets. Anywhere you have brackets, it will match that and that. Now, there is also such a thing as saying, what if I want to get all the combinations of quick and brown? I don't want it to just randomly choose and sometimes hit the same things. I want it to absolutely go through every combination of this against every combination of that. And I want to be really, really careful to do it. Oh, you're going to love this. Let's see if we can offset it by just one. So let me come up with another one. Light brown. There. Why did I offset it by one? So that one of these columns has one more in it than the other column. Watch this. Now I got to be careful by using brackets like this all the time, because every time I do a run, it's going to start with the top one. So I better do a run big enough to cover the whole group, or I'm always going to miss the bottom ones. Okay? Because every time I hit the go button, or the process button, and it starts creating pages, it starts at the top. So the first page it creates will be for Chicago, Illinois. The next page will be for Atlanta, Georgia. So if I've got 30,000 cities in here, but I only do 100 pages, then it's only going to do the same 100 cities each time because of the brackets. So I've got to be thoughtful, right? I don't just do 30,000 all at once, do I? No, I don't. Either that or I find a way to take the brackets off and let it just randomly go through it. Okay. Now, having said that, why is one of these one more than the other? Some of you figured it out. First page it uses that and that. Next page, 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 that and that. Then it uses this, but it can't use anything from here, so it starts over. Okay, so now you get a page saying hurried brown fox. Well, what do you think the next one would have to be? The next one down, quick chocolate fox, rapid coffee fox, fast speedy toast, swift light brown, hasty brown, hurried chocolate, quick coffee. See how it goes? Rapid tan. It's going to go through all the combinations. How many are there? This many groups of this. So it is literally 7 times 6. 7 times 6, what's that, 42. So that's, if you were creating 42 pages with these in here, you will get exactly 42. You will get every combination of this once. If you created 84 pages, you will happen to get every combination of these twice, 2 pages per. See that? There's strategies that are wild. Think backlinks. What if one of these is the verbiage, the anchor text for the backlink, and the other is the link where it goes to? You can make the verbiage match the link every time. Verbiage match the link, verbiage match the link, and that's if they stop, that's if they're just as deep as each other. Okay. Or again, you can mix and match, so you don't have page after page where it's the same verbiage to the same length. You want related keywords. These are all similar to each other, pointing at a stack of pages that are all quite similar to each other, and you want these to circumnavigate around these so that one page has this for that length, but another page has this for some other length, which is fine. Google doesn't expect this to always point at that page. It doesn't. On a whole website, it depends on the context of the page. What if this was saying read more? For example, that's the most obvious one, read more about this topic. Well, if you were reading that on one page, it would tell you to go here next. If you were reading that on a different page, it would tell you to go here next, right? But there are many times where you say, here's a quick way to see it, or click here for more about that topic, and that's just after reading the page, here's another page to go to, and there's a good word to bring you there. By the way, does it have to be one column for the anchor text? No. It could be lovely features go here. If you had, and again, you don't have to use brackets, but you could have lovely qualities points to the first link. And when it goes through, it will go through the first link and then go through the next link, go through the next, but it'll use any random combinations for each next page, right? Get it? See how that works? That's the variability you have at your disposal. So you can mix any combination of static verbiage with variable verbiage, and that's the point here. Okay? So yeah, we can introduce vars, play with them, do whatever we want to do with them. Ain't that cool? All right, what I'm going to do real quick is rip out everything that I added. I want all of that away so that we get back to where we were. Delete. And then in the next topic, I'm going to take these out too. 11 and 12 can go. Yeah, because we're not using them. Delete. Okay. And what we're going to do next is talk keywords. Okay, and we'll understand what we're doing with keywords. Okay. So let me see. Those need to go. Delete. And all the way at the end needs to go. Okay. The whole thing is stuck in. Delete. Save it. Oh. Close it. And then when I come back in here, edit, the only thing I really added so far has been this, right? So I'll just take back that and make it something that makes more sense. What should it be? Should be something I got off of here, right? Out of the content. Maybe. You know, it's just a good way of doing it. Awesome plumbers who won't drain your wallet is a really cool way of putting it. I could. I mean, it's not saying Atlanta plumbers. I really should be saying something about the city. But nonetheless, awesome plumbers who won't drain your wallet. That's a good way to go. And I'll just leave it at that. And the meta description. Let me make some sentence. The meta description, right? Okay, that's good. Not too bad. Not too long, and it's got a number of vars in it. So that's just the right concept there. Wow. Okay. And if any of you guys saw it already, probably did. Good. Get rid of that. Wow, there. Didn't break the coding, so I'm good to go. Now I can just test it. One thing I should do at this point is make sure I got it right. Yeah, no? Let me see if I got it right, because I want to know if I got it right. Always choose the vars, not the unique vars. Don't choose the unique vars. Let the system do that. You just choose your vars, okay? All right, here we go. Dummy.com/project. You can always type that in. You'll get fast at typing that in. Aha! Following variables are not in the unique file. They're not in the vars file, the unique file. Therefore, they are in the base. They got to be in one if it's telling you they're not in the other. So I'm going to figure that out. What was that again? 1, 3, 3000, and 3001. Those are all ones I don't want in the page. Control F. Let me just look for like 3, 1, and since 1 is too weird, it's going to find ones everywhere. I'm going to make it like 1 percentage sign. But if I want to be real clear, I'll make it like var 1 percentage sign. Okay, that just got to be var 1. Aha, that's right. I remember now. See where it is? There it is. There's my 3000, 1, 3, and 3001. That should have just been like Atlanta plumbers, right? Best Atlanta plumber, you know? Okay, I'll do that. Alt coding should be a keyword you want for the page, right? To win. Best Atlanta plumber. Oh, I can't use it until I close this down. Boom, boom. Nope. Okay, can't save it because I haven't filled it out properly. I can save this, and yes, I can replace. All right, good. All right, anyway, I'm pretty sure it's done, of course, because those were the only errors it was showing me. But I can just be careful and just doubly check. Vars, okay. Here we go again. Dummy.com/project. Take that off. Next. Throw a couple of these in along with the ID column. And then just bap, bap, bap. Okay. Make one of these a keyword. Put some keys, or it's not going to run the pages out until I do that much. So make a folder, call it keys. Doesn't have to be a folder called keys. It's just easy to find your keys there. It did the job. Okay, I know it's doing the job. All right, so everything's intact. The integrity is solid. Everything is good. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do in the next topic is go get keywords and make that specifically a var, right? Okay.